What if the stiffness in your neck, the tightness in your lower back, and even the discomfort in your knees aren't separate problems at all? What if your body is simply missing a few basic movements it was designed to perform? For centuries, traditional Shaolin training has emphasized something that modern lifestyles often take away from us: the ability to move comfortably through a full range of motion. You don't need to become a martial artist, spend hours training, or perform extreme stretches. What you need is a simple sequence that gradually opens the joints from the ground up. Today, we're going through 6 mobility exercises that target some of the most commonly restricted areas in the body. And there's an important reason for the order, because your body works as a connected system. When one joint can't move properly, another often has to compensate. So let's start where your entire body meets the ground. Number 1. Ankle mobility rocks. Your ankles may seem unrelated to your back, hips, or knees, but they influence almost every movement you make while standing, walking, climbing stairs, or squatting. When ankle movement becomes restricted, your body has to find another way to complete the motion. Your knees may shift differently, your hips may compensate, your balance can change. This simple drill helps you gradually explore more comfortable ankle movement. Kneel down with your toes tucked underneath you. Keep one heel grounded and slowly shift your body forward until you feel a gentle stretch around the ankle. Don't force it. Move forward, return, and repeat slowly. The goal isn't to push through discomfort, it's to teach the joint that this range is available. Try controlled repetitions on both sides, using a wall or chair for balance if necessary. And pay attention to what happens next, because once your ankles can move better, the next joint in the chain gets a chance to do its job properly. Number 2. The deep squat hold. The deep squat is more than a leg exercise. When performed comfortably, it asks your ankles, knees, hips, and spine to work together in one position. Unfortunately, many people gradually lose this ability because modern life rarely asks them to spend time in deep positions. Start with your feet around hip width apart or slightly wider if that feels more natural. Lower yourself only as far as you can comfortably control. If you can't reach a deep squat yet, hold on to a sturdy support. Once you're down, don't worry about looking perfect. Breathe. Shift your weight gently from side to side. Let your hips explore the position instead of forcing them into it. One common mistake is bouncing aggressively at the bottom. Mobility isn't about winning a fight against your joints. It's about gradually becoming comfortable with movement. Stay there for short, controlled periods and repeat as your mobility improves. But there's another area that becomes especially restricted when you're sitting all day, and this one can make your entire posture feel different. Number 3. The hip flexor stretch. Think about how many hours you spend with your hips bent, sitting at a desk, driving, working on a computer, watching television. Over time, your body can become accustomed to that position. A simple hip flexor stretch can help you spend time in the opposite position. Move into a half-kneeling lunge with one knee on the floor and the other foot in front. Before moving forward, gently tighten your abdominal muscles and keep your ribs stacked over your hips. Then shift forward slightly. You should feel the stretch toward the front of the hip on the kneeling side. Here's the detail that matters. Don't compensate by arching your lower back. If your back bends dramatically, you're often moving away from the area you're trying to address. Stay tall, breathe slowly, and keep the movement controlled. Hold the position comfortably, then switch sides. And now we reach the exercise that exposes one of the biggest mistakes people make when dealing with a stiff back. They attack the painful area directly, but sometimes the better solution is to look somewhere else. Number 4. Thoracic spine rotations. Your upper back is designed to rotate. Your lower back, comparatively, is built more for stability. So when the upper back becomes stiff, your body may try to borrow movement from other areas. That's why improving upper back mobility can be such an important part of an overall movement routine. Start on your hands and knees. Place one hand behind your head. Keep your hips as steady as possible while slowly rotating your upper body. Bring your elbow toward the ceiling. Follow the movement with your eyes, then return to the starting position. You can also bring the elbow underneath your body for a gentle rotational movement in the opposite direction. The key is control. Don't rush. Don't twist as far as possible just to make the movement look impressive. The goal is to move through a comfortable range while keeping your hips relatively stable. Perform several slow repetitions on each side. And here's the surprising part. You may notice that your back feels more comfortable afterward, even though you never aggressively stretched your lower back. That's the point. Sometimes mobility isn't about forcing the stiffest area. It's about restoring movement to the area that was supposed to provide it in the first place. But we're not done yet. Because sitting and screen time don't only affect your hips and upper back, they can gradually change how your shoulders move too. Number 5. Shoulder mobility with a towel or band. Stand tall and hold a towel, resistance band, or similar flexible object with both hands. Keep your grip wide. Slowly raise your arms in front of you, overhead, and only move farther behind your body if you can do so comfortably without pain. Then return to the starting position. The wider your hands are, the easier the movement generally becomes. As your mobility improves, you can gradually adjust your grip. But don't turn this into a competition. You don't need to force your arms behind your body. You also don't need to bend your elbows dramatically just to create more range. Think smooth. Think controlled. Think about allowing your shoulders to move rather than forcing them into position. This can be especially useful for people who spend long periods with their arms in front of them. And now comes the final movement, the one involving a part of the body that many people treat far too aggressively, your neck. Number 6. Gentle neck mobility. Your neck is not an area where aggressive stretching is necessary. In fact, controlled movement is often a better approach than forcing your head into extreme positions. Sit or stand tall. Relax your shoulders. Gently draw your chin back without looking down dramatically. Then slowly turn your head toward one side. Return to the center. Repeat on the other side. After that, perform small, controlled nodding movements. Imagine making a gentle yes motion rather than throwing your head forward and backward. Everything should remain slow. No bouncing. No pulling your head with your hands. No forcing the range. And if any movement causes sharp pain, dizziness, numbness, or unusual symptoms, stop rather than trying to push through it. This isn't about proving how flexible you are. It's about maintaining control over the movement you already have and gradually exploring comfortable ranges. Now here's where the entire sequence comes together. Don't think of these as 6 random stretches. Think of them as a movement chain. Start at the ankles. Move to the hips. Open the front of the hips. Restore rotation through the upper back. Give the shoulders more freedom. Then finish with gentle neck movement. The sequence moves upward through the body, but the bigger lesson is even more important. Your body isn't a collection of isolated parts. When you walk, squat, reach, turn, or simply stand, multiple joints cooperate to produce that movement. So instead of constantly asking, where does it hurt? Start asking, where might I be missing movement? That change in perspective can completely transform the way you approach mobility. And don't expect one session to magically change everything. Mobility is built through consistency. A few controlled minutes performed regularly can be more useful than one intense session followed by weeks of doing nothing. Start gently, learn the movements, stay within a comfortable range, and gradually allow your body to become familiar with positions it may have neglected for years. The goal isn't to move like a Shaolin monk. The goal is much simpler: to keep your body capable of moving through everyday life with confidence, control, and less unnecessary stiffness. And remember this final thought before you go. Sometimes the body doesn't need to be pushed harder. Sometimes it simply needs to be reminded how to move. If this routine gave you a new way to think about your mobility, tap like. Subscribe for more practical movement and fitness guidance, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. And tell me in the comments which area feels the stiffest right now.